I feel like with this album, I finally got to experience the convergence of everything I went into music for in the first place. I had, by this point, met a bunch of musicians that I really admire and love working with, especially co-producer Alex Wong. Alex and I have been friends for a long time. I first met him as one of the two lead guys in the great band called the Animators.
All of a sudden the conversation turns and everyone concerned is looking down. The guilty party is right here in the room, but no one can.
And I remember the first conversation that we had when we were looking through the list of songs, and I had sort of split them out into three different groups. There was kind of the more pop rock kind of category, and then there was the more classically influenced, kind of polished pop sound kind of songs. And then there was a third collection that was a little more folky and that seemed like it should be, you know, a little more lo-fi or a little looser. And I remember saying to him, I'm a little worried that these three groups don't really go together. And I remember Alex looking at the list and thinking about it, and he looked up and he said, I think if we honor what each song wants to be, it's going to be fine. I think the most fun of the sessions that we did was actually in a church in San Francisco called Noe Valley Ministry, and it's this old, you know, building with these high wooden beams and just a beautiful spot. When I was writing The Last Snowfall, I already imagined certain voices singing the parts, and one of them was this beautiful singer and composer named Noe Venable, who was based out of San Francisco for a long time, as well as our friend Odessa Chen, who has this beautiful, high, angelic voice. And then from New York, I had met this other singer-songwriter named Ari Hest, who in addition to his songwriting prowess just has this amazing range. And we just recorded all these different vocal lines and kind of wove them together to make the final arrangement, and it was just a really, really fun afternoon. Grandmother's Song was always meant to be sung almost as the sort of spontaneous testimonial, you know, as though I were just speaking, you know, off the top of my grandmother's head. So we called in all these musicians, and I didn't really tell them anything about the song beforehand, so we just sat at the piano and just worked out, you know, I sang it through a few times and then told them, you know, like, I want you to kind of interject here, or, you know, come in with a harmony here, and it was really fun because, you know, once we worked it out, we had to sing it, and so it was sort of everyone singing off of their first instinct and off of something they had just heard and just learned, and I really liked the roughness of that and the looseness of it. That's what we were going for.
Take it from your grandmother, I've been around, I've been around, I've been around. Yeah, take it from your grandmother, I've been around, I've been around, I've been around. No, this music career isn't real life. It won't see you through when you're 65, and when the tide turns, you won't survive. You sit on the banks and cry, 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 cry. Gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry.
This is what I would call a mixtape kind of album. Like, I wanted every song to kind of have a different voice, to have a different story. It wasn't going to be a mood album where the songs kind of have a similar feel from beginning to end. Like, I really wanted it to be something that took you on a journey, so it would be kind of old-time parlor music one moment, and then this sort of grand chamber orchestra song the next, and something really intimate and piano-based the next, and I just wanted to share kind of all the different sides of the things that I love in music. Inland territory was a phrase that came to me because it seemed like it captured most of the nuances of the album that I wanted to communicate. One is that it's a personal exploration, you know, it's me, it's what I'm thinking about, basically, whether it's about relationships with my family or with people I love, and, you know, political events, current events, and just generally, you know, the musings that one has when one's standing on a subway platform waiting for the train to come. I wanted the title to have this sense of, looking at a map and looking at this sort of blank space that you haven't ventured into, that you maybe have been afraid to venture into, and to start charting a course for how you're going to go into that territory and explore what's there. My name is Vienna Teng, and this is Inland Territory.